In this video, I'd like to show you how to go from this to this and this. Welcome to Craft It Sweetly. I'm Diana. Thanks so much for being here. In this project, I'm using this twisted paper raffia. It's like a cord. It's super thick and really heavy. You might have seen this in the craft store. So start off with whatever color you would like. They come in all kinds of different colors. And for the project, we'll need, depending on what flower you want to make, you'll need even pieces of this raffia cut. So you can cut them first like this, which I started to, and then I realized it's probably easier to just unravel first and then cut it to the depth you want. Now the depth you cut it to will determine how tall your flower is. And for this, I started to unravel it, and it's really just twisted like this. And then once you unravel it, it's actually just a piece of paper. So I'll unravel one of these just to show you what this looks like completely. And I use something to poke in it just to help it unravel a little bit, and you can do that to both sides. So I'll unravel a bunch of these, and if you twist it kind of like this, it helps with the unraveling. And let's say we'll use paper that's about an inch right there, so we'll go with 1.5 inches. It does not have to be super exact. And I'll start off with 5 pieces for this first flower. Okay, so I have 5 cut out, and I will open all of these up, shape the petal for it. So I'll gather one end and fan out the other. So this is what you want all of the petals to look like. I'm just gonna put some alcohol ink on a palette, and for this I'm using Valencia. Just put it down, and then I will take each petal and keep it back to the shape and lightly dip just this edge in the alcohol ink. You'd only want to touch it like this because it really soaks it up, so you don't want to dip it in completely. The more you hold it in, the farther the alcohol ink is going to go down. Okay, and this is what they all look like. Now I'll take some art glitter glue for this. I like this because it dries clear. And I'm gonna add some glue to the base here. And same thing to one more. And you can pinch it together. And now I'm gonna add glue here. And just press it a little bit just to make sure it sticks, just like that. For this next part, I'm taking some that's already open, and then from this I'm just going to cut a very short strip. Just like this. Now the reason I'm doing that is I have this really long strip of the paper, and I will glue this right in the center. Next, I'm going to add some stamens to it, and this is what these are. They're really tiny. And I want to glue them right in the middle. And that little paper there will help stabilize. So I'm just going to drop some glue there. Remember, this is going to dry clear. And I'm just going to take each of these stamens, kind of dip it in the glue and poke it in right where this is. Once the glue has dried, then you can pick it up off the painter's tape, I should say. And then you can reshape the petals a little bit, kind of move them around to where you want them to be. And then you can see the stamens right in the middle here. I will do a project in the future showing you some ideas of how you can use this in your projects. But this is a really pretty flower to add to your next craft. With dipping it in alcohol ink, the color is very bold from one to the other, you know, from your original color toward the alcohol ink. With this next flower, it's going to be a little more subtle. So I'll set that one aside. Now for this one, I stretched out the raffia paper the same way, like this. And I'm going to use ink like this. And then I'll take a blending brush. Now you can color this either before or after cutting. You really won't see much of a difference. So I just blend in the color. Now once I do this, then I will fold this over. And then I'm just going to cut little, just about 1/4 of an inch all the way down the length of the petal. And I folded this in half just because that way I only have to do half the length of the paper. Okay, looks like I've got all of them. Now to put this carnation together, what I'll do is I'll add some glue to this. And instead of just folding it, rolling it up, which is going to make it look tight, I'm just bunching it together. And that's going to keep it more open, and press at the bottom at the same time. So I'll do that with this next one also, and kind of put them together this way instead of trying to roll it around, because if you look at a carnation, it just looks very random. Okay, once you form these, then they just need to be put together. And then as I'm putting them together, I'm going in a round pattern to make sure that it's not lopsided. But you can see that it stays open. And then once you have them together, you can open up the petals a little more to shape it if you need to. That's the nice thing with raffia paper. It's forgiving and fairly stiff. And then with the last one, so that if you need to do a stem, then you can leave that open and then add a floral wire to it. And then I'm just gonna put it in here and squeeze this around. If you don't need the wire, then you can just skip this step. So at this point, we just let it dry. I hope this video was helpful in showing you how to create these pretty flowers using raffia paper. So going from this to this. Let me know in the comment section below which flower you prefer, if it's the carnation or if it's the one with the alcohol ink for the flowers. And if you end up making any projects using flowers with this technique, please post it in my Facebook group. I would love to see what you create. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next project.